Right now, we have already hit Week 5. We've gone a month into this NFL season. Week 5 in the league where they play for pay. 7-5 on the season, 2-1 last week. One with the one with the two dogs. We won with the Broncos, and we won with what other dog we won with last week? We won with two dogs. Oh, we went with the Ravens against the Steelers, and we lost with the Packers. So we're 2-1, 7-5 on the season. So let's see what we can come up with this week. All right, here we go. Game number 1. Let's change the tune. Here we go. Game number 1. I'll go into Indianapolis for game number 1. The only undefeated team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. Who would have thunk it? And I think the Chiefs are improved. They're improved in a lot of different ways this year. But this is the wrong place at the wrong time against the wrong team on the wrong day. The Colts lost last week on a 59-yard field goal. They're 2-2, and the Colts don't like being 2-2. They don't like having a 2 next to their losses at any time, and they will respond against the Chiefs here. Now, the Chiefs, as we said, are improved, but you know what? This is not what you're looking for. They have had as much trouble against the Colts as anybody. The Colts have cut up the Chiefs whenever they see them, and you can look for more of the same here. Now, the Chiefs have been making magical plays. You know that? They've been getting a play here, a play there. They've been getting a return here, a return there, a big run here, a big run there. Now they're playing against Mr. Manning in his building on a nasty day. And whether or not if Romeo tries to go make him come the long field and let him run the ball. But Romeo has always told me through the years, the many times I've talked to him, and that is that what he always liked to do was try to keep Manning off balance. Don't show him the same look all the time. Change it up, change it up. So look for them to come at him with a lot of different looks. I don't think they have the personnel, especially not the kind that Romeo had when he was back running the Pat defense. So I expect this to be a very tough game. Listen, Kansas City is improved. Hey, they're 3-0. That shows you they're improved. If they have a winning season, they're vastly improved. But you know what? Might as well join the ranks of the defeated and do it in style. This will be a tough one. The Colts are a touchdown favorite, and that won't nearly be enough. Indianapolis -7. Game number 1. Now, game number 2. I think last week I picked the Broncos. They came across the country into Tennessee, played a real good game against the Titans, came back late, won the game. Now they go home. They feel good about themselves. Orton's playing very, very well. But now they have to come back from the West and go all the way back across the country. Last week they went from Denver to Tennessee, long trip. Now they go home. They got to win. Now they got to go back and go all the way to Baltimore. Now, the only thing that scares you about this game is a lot of times teams like the Ravens, when they come off the Steeler game, they have a little bit of a lull. But you know what? I don't see that here because I think this is a game where Flacco can put up big numbers, where they can get their whole offense going, and they just need to kind of get Orton under control. Orton doesn't have much of a running game here, so they're going to be able to play pass all the way, and I think this is a very, very tough spot. Listen, I think Denver's dangerous, but I do not think the week after you're going to come back. And if the Ravens don't turn it over, and right now they're -7, they will have a big week. They'll be building on what they did last week and turning back the Steelers. They now think of themselves as a team that wants to show that they're at the top of the AFC. A lot of people think they can be that. When you do that, you start to put forth those solid efforts. I think they win this game, 30-17, something like that. Much more than the 7. So for the second game, I'm giving you another -7. I'm giving you 2 7s to start it off. Colts -7, Ravens -7. I don't have a lot of dogs for you this week. I thought I'd have dogs. I don't have a whole bunch. I always look to the dogs first and try to give you dogs. When I can't give you dogs, then I start to move to the favorites. I always look first to try and find a dog that I like to win outright. I don't have one of those this week on the whole card. I don't like to take 0-4 teams and ask them to win for me, which is why, although I think 2 of the 0-4 teams will win this week, I don't believe in picking them. Because I just think when you're wrong, it just feels bad that you picked them. So I never ask the Bills to win for me or ask, one of the really bad teams. So I'm not going to ask the Niners to win for me. I was thinking about it, but I decided, you know what, I'll pass. So where did I wind up? I wound up on the Chargers, laying 6.5 against the Raiders. The Chargers own the Raiders. The Chargers can't stand the Raiders. And the Raiders, they don't match up with the Chargers. Now, the Raiders continue to make big mistakes, and if the Chargers don't turn it over, they got big problems. If you're going to ask Gradkowski to try and play a shootout with Rivers, and remember, McFadden's not playing. So you don't have a running game, and now you're going to ask them to play a shootout. You're going to come out not anywhere close. This is not a good matchup. The Chargers always come up big against the Raiders. They have been bad on the road so far. They've been good at home. Now they go to Oakland. They deserve to be a favorite. They're a 6.5-point favorite, and I think the Chargers, who can put up 30 in their sleep, will put up big numbers. The Raiders are allowing 27 points a game, and they haven't met anybody yet as explosive as the Chargers. So this is going to be another one of those San Diego explosions against the Raiders, and the Raiders don't have a McFadden. They don't have a running game. They continue to make a lot of mistakes. So this week, 3 favorites, all about the same territory. The Colts -7 to turn back the Chiefs. The Ravens -7 to turn back the Broncos. And the Chargers -6.5 on the road to turn back the Silver and Black. Probably 34-20 back after this.